Hi, once again, good afternoon, CS1. So, the copy of this lesson that I'm going to discuss this afternoon kay makita ra sa class materials. So, pwede ito ninyo download or kopyahon kung mag-up ra kayo para sa inyo i-download para na po may reference aning akong i-discuss. So, this afternoon, I'm going to discuss about rules of inference. So, mananata sa propositional logic, predicate logic. Then now this is rules of inference. So what are rules of inference for? So mathematical logic is often used for logical proofs. So proofs are valid arguments that determine the truth values of mathematical statements. An argument is a sequence of statements that the last statement is the conclusion, and all its preceding statements are called premises or hypotheses. So the symbol, so this symbol, so this symbol is called therefore or read as therefore. So it's placed before the conclusion. So bale ang therefore daw serves as the conclusion of the argument. A valid argument is one where the conclusion follows from the truth values of the premises. So in all, pasabot sa rule of inference, so rule of inference provide the templates or guidelines for constructing valid arguments from the statements that we already have. So rules of inference mura ra siya iko niya ba maghatag siya guidelines or uh, siya'y mag-prove na ang isa ka ang not just one na an argument is it proves that an argument is a tama ni an argument is valid, so i-prove niya ko ang argument daw kay valid, so muna siya uh, purpose sa rules of rules of inference. So rules of inference, it has a premises, then those premises ikon niya or hypothesis murag sa science project bitaw na magkuang kag hypothesis murag kung kan pa something like problem or problem statement, then you're going to experiment or define or prove that problem, then the conclusion dito na makuha nimo na uh, the conclusion it should be murag answer ang conclusion mo na siya murag answer sa hypothesis. There are different types of rules of inference. So isa na dito ang addition. So one type of the rule of inference is the addition. So if P is a premises, so let's say P is a variable. So P is a hypothesis daw. Then you can use addition rule. So the addition rule to derive P or Q. So P and Q are variables. So you we need sa the rules of inference for addition is P or Q. So if P is a premises or the hypothesis, so in addition rule, so you need to derive the P or Q. So P, this is the premises or the hypothesis. Then this is the conclusion. Since of the symbol of the therefore symbol. So di mo na siya gan. So ang sa babaw na part, kung makita niyo siya, mura siya formula o forma. So the upper part are the hypothesis. So sa additional ni so the other rules of inference magkadaghan ni premises, magkadaghan ni premises. Then ang conclusion niya is ang katunad yung tanan-tanan or murag giaswa na or ang answer ato na hypothesis. So para mas masabtan nato ning kaning kanina rules of inference na addition. So, sa example, so let P be the proposition and that P, so kanang proposition, assign into a statement, he studies very hard. So, this statement, he studies very hard, returns a value of true. So, therefore, so dire na, either he studies very hard or he is a very bad student. So, this statement here, either he studies or this statement kani, he studies very hard, is the variable P, and this he is a very bad student is the variable Q. So here, Q is the proposition, he is a very bad student. So, mo na siyang sa addition. Sa addition, it uses a conjunction or. Kani, this is or. So, the conjunction used in the addition rule is or. So, let's say, let's say, by the way, dili mo dapat ma-confuse sa kung ilis-il na yung mga instances, example sa mga exercises or exams na ilis-ilisan ako ni mga letters diri. Okay na siya. Inyo lang timanan jud is these letters here are just variable representation. Variable ra na siya. So, pwede na siya lahiun og letter as long as it's an alphabet. So, again, so P here is the he studies very hard muna ni siya. And or, the conjunction and or he is a very bad student. And Q here is also a proposition. So, therefore, P or Q. So, mura na siya ikuan niya ang kuan. Na siya'y, tala ni. Ihang gikuan is kanang, murag, iyarang kwaon ang kanina kuan. Kwaon na kanina statement. So, kung nakahinumdum pa mo sa propositional logic, as long as sa or conjunction, ay or connective, as long as naay isa ka true sa duha ka variable, so na isa ka true sa duha ka variable, ang i-return jud na value is true. So muna siya sa or ha, di jud na inyo kalimtan sa or connective. Basta naay isa lang ka variable true, so ang return value jud niya is true. So muna siya sa addition rule. So ang addition rule is P is the premises, P therefore P or Q. So, another example para mas masabtan jud. So, another example. So, let P be the proposition. So, the proposition here, or the proposition P has a value of, or has a statement of, he's a fast worker. Then, it should be a true. So, pasabot, 1 siya, kung fast, so, kung true siya, so, pasabot na 1 siya, or T. So, therefore, either he's a fast worker or he's a tardy worker. So, kung siya, pasabot, paspas siya or langay siya na pagkatrabahante. Then, ang Q dire, also a proposition, which is he's a tardy worker. So, sulat niya na siya, nga naaragya po na siya, P or pwede na siya ilisan diya, let R or let S be a proposition. Then, ang proposition niya is, so another, let's say, he's a good swimmer. So, then, he's a good swimmer, then, he's a good swimmer is true. Also, then, therefore, butang nato, therefore, either he's a good swimmer or a bad swimmer. So, nga na siya. So, P is the good swimmer, then, bad swimmer is the Q. That's for the addition rule. So, next is the conjunction. So, conjunction here is the opposite of addition. Okay, sa addition, ang gamit niya na connective is or, then sa conjunction, ang gamit niya na connective is and. So this is an and connective. Hindi mo dapat malibog sa and sa or. So if P and Q are two premises, so we have two hypotheses dire. So the P and Q. So we can use the conjunction rule to derive the P and Q na conclusion. So this is the conclusion. So example. So so the variable P has a statement, he studies very hard. Then the variable Q or the proposition Q has a statement, he is the best boy in the class. So sa end connective, kung mahinumduman ninyo, pag isa gani sa variable lang is false or zero, automatically the return value ana is zero or false. Pero kung parehas sila true, so automatic na niya ang return value niya is true. So kung makita niyo ang propositions dire, puros mga positive. So let's say true ni sila pareho. So therefore, ang conclusion niya, he studies very hard and he is the best boy in the class. So mo ni iyang conclusion. So muna ni siya ang P. So, ang inyo rin yung sigurhon, ang inyong apason is makam up ni siya. Mura na siya formula ba? Mura siya formula. Pero dili formula ang patawagan na yun. Rules of inference ang kanina niya. So, muna siyang rules of inference, then ang name lang niya is ang conjunction. Another example for conjunction. So, he's a fast worker for the P proposition. Then for the Q proposition, he is the best employee in the class. So therefore, he's a fast worker and he is the best employee in the office rather. Okay, so this is P. So yung nga na ang kuan niya. Saan ang mga kuan sa rules on inference. So that's the second conjunction, second type of rules of inference. Then another one is the simplification. So simplification, so medyo complicated na ang rules of inference. So if P and Q, so if P and Q is a premise or a hypothesis, we can use simplification rule to derive P. So parang baliktad na siya. Baliktad na siya na kuan. So kung makita niyo, maobserbahan ninyo sa kuan, nalang siya murag similarity sa conjunction. Although sa conjunction, there are two hypotheses or premise. Dire, ang iyang premise is naka-propositional logic type na siya or naka-proposition na siya. Then, ang imong kuanan lang is therefore is iyang atong proposition lang. So, example is, he studies very hard and he is the best boy in the class. Then, therefore, pilang may kuanan nimo. So, ang imuha ramang kuanan nimo is, ang conclusion na kuanan nimo is for the proposition P. So, this is the P and this is the Q. So, since therefore P man, so ang imong kuaon na conclusion is the P only. So, he studies very hard. So, kanira imong kuanon. Studies very hard. Not unless, kung ilisa ni siya og kuan, proposition niya dire, kung therefore Q, kung ang atong ang gihatag dire is therefore Q, so ang imong pong kuaon dire na conclusion is the best boy in the class. That's for the simplification. Another example, so just like the before, so kung since ang inyo ra yung bantayan jud kani jud kani din yung bantayan jud. So he is a fast worker and he is the best employee in the office. So the premise or the hypothesis premise, then kuhaon ninyo ang conclusion. So, therefore, P. So, which is P in this statement? So, since this is a fast worker, he is a fast worker, mora jud inyohang murag maulog siya murag muura ang inyong i-return. So, that's for um, simplification. Modus ponens. If P and if P then Q, so this is implication. So if P then Q, so are two premises. So there are two hypotheses. We can use modus ponens to derive Q. So tripod, two premise, one conclusion. Example, if you have a password, then you can log on to Facebook. So, if you have, timanin ninyo, ang implication, if or if then, ang pagkuhan siya, implication or if then, so, na ang word na if, then, ang word na then. So, if you have a password, so this is P, then you can log into Facebook, log on to Facebook. So, this is Q. Then, since P, proposition P is you have a password. So, P lang siya. So, you have a password only ang ikon nyo. Okay. Yeah. Therefore, so ang conclusion, Q man, then this one. You can log on to Facebook. So, pasabot, kung naamoy password, makasulod mo sa Facebook. Then, so, if you have password, you can log into Facebook. If, mura ni siya og, tawag ni, kanang not sure pa ba? Not sure pa na statement. Then, pag-proceed sa next na may password, then, therefore, ang conclusion, makalagin mo sa Facebook. Na siya ang modus ponens. It uses an amplification connective. Another example, you're 18 years old, so this is the P. Then, you can vote for the election. So, you can vote for election. The election is the Q. Then, the P, 18 na ka. Therefore, ang conclusion, pwede na kang votar. So, therefore, Q. That's modus ponens. So, the two hypotheses, the if then the proposition na P or any variable na proposition, therefore, then the conclusion. Another one is the modus tollens. Sa modus tollens, mura ra siya og opposite sa modus ponens. So, it still have a two premises. If P, then Q, so the implication, then not Q, the negation. So then the proposition Q or the variable Q is negated. Then you can use modus tollens, the modus tollens rule or rules of inference, modus tollens rule of inference, derive not P. Ang negate lang ang mga proposition. Again, two premise, P then Q, and D, not Q. All. Therefore, or then the conclusion, so kung dito sa PICAS, ang therefore, sa modus ponens, ang conclusion niya is Q, therefore Q, then diri sa modus tollens, ang conclusion niya is therefore not P. So, an example, so, if you have a password, so again, this is P, the proposition. So, if you have a password, then you can log into Facebook. Then not Q man. Not Q is just the negation of this. I-negate lang nimo ni siya. So, pasabo. So, ang kuha na siya, you cannot log on to Facebook. So, ginigate lang man siya. Dire, you can log on to Facebook. Since ang negation is the opposite man, so you cannot log into Facebook. Dayon, ang therefore niya is, you do not have a password. If you can notice, you do not have a password is just a negation of the you have a password. Tadra siya, or ang opposite niya. Is you have a password and ginegate siya, then you do not have a password. Importante kayo sa rules of inference na mahinumduman pagyapon ninyo inyong mga connectives. Another example for modus tollens. So if you're 18 years old, then you can vote for the election. So this is P. Means negate the next premise, negate ang Q, not Q. So you cannot vote for the election. So not Q na siya, kay ginigate na to. Therefore, you're not 18 years old. So, therefore, not P. So, ginigate na to ni. Modus tollens. Another one is the disjunctive syllogism. Disjunctive syllogism. So, just like modus ponens and modus tollens, two premise, then if not P and P or Q are two premises, we can use disjunctive syllogism to derive Q. Again, kani ang not P ha, then kani wala. Can correct it sa dito sa kong gisend sa. Example for these rules of inference is the ice cream is not vanilla flavored. So that is the not P proposition. The ice cream is either vanilla flavored or chocolate flavored. So this the second ice cream is either vanilla flavored or the P. Therefore, ang Q man nato i-derive. Therefore, the ice cream is chocolate. Dire sa not P, kung makita ninyo, the ice cream is not vanilla flavored. So, not P na proposition. Then, sa next hypothesis, naka na siya, the ice cream is either vanilla flavored, sabot, ginigate ra po ni siya. Or rather, kanina statement, ginigate mo. Importante yung kinantiman-an din yun naman. Therefore, Q, so, ice cream is chocolate syllogism. Another example, again, not P, then, or Q are they two. Dress is not color red. Premise. The dress is either color red or color pink. Premise. So this is therefore we derive the Q. So that again we did in here. Another one, so ikapila na nato siya. 7th rules of hypothetical syllogism. If if P then Q and if Q and then R are two premises, can use hypothetical syllogism to and two premises. These are the ano siya mga assumptions lang ha sa mga if ka na mga if then na mga assumptions lang na. Another hypothesis or another premise, if I don't go to school, I won't need to do homework. So, ah, so, if Q ni siya, ayon, the therefore or the conclusion, kung muulan, dili siya kahimo og assignment or homework. So, trains, which is the P, I won't need to do a homework. Pag ang iharang gikuha is proposition P, first premise, and that's the hypothetical. Ulan daw, di siya maskwela. Nya, siya maskwela, di siya makahimo og abot. Kung dili siya as lang pero as lang ang statement pero in other words, di ra gyud kanya ang iyahang another example is I run out of data or data connection and access the internet. Can't access the internet and kung mawad ang mong data, if I run out of can't join na siya. I can't join the online class. Wala lang. Muna siya hypothetical syllogism. Mawad ang mong data, premises if P then Q, then if Q then P, and then if Q then R. Therefore, if P syllogism. So another one, which I think 8, ikawalo na ni siya na walo na rules of inference. Another one is the constructive dilemma. Here sa constructive dilemma, if you can notice, there are hulog siya og 3 proposition. So this is one. First premises is if P then Q. So ahon ninyo na siya dire. If P then ninyo gamit ikuha R then S is the first active dilemma to first things first. This first proposition. Ulan daw. So this first proposition. The P hot outside. I will go for a shower. Init daw sa gawas. Ligo siya. The next sa other proposition. And since it's end, going to connect these two para makakuha nimo siya ang kuan. Murag makuha nimo ang yang final return value. So either it will rain or it is hot outside. Or P or R. So I will take a leave or I will go for a shower. Kurang kuanon is so ang technique lang bitaw jud ani honestly is your magbantay jud mo sa mga propositions or sa mga variables. So kung makamantay ninyo akong gipang butangan og mga variables ang mga kada statement. So samaan ni either it will rain. So this is the P. Kani siya is muora ni dire. Kanina statement, muora po ni siya na statement. So the same variable P. Or it is hot outside the R. So this is the R. So mura po ni siya dire. So ang variable jud yung basihan. So therefore Q or S. So the conclusion. So kuhaon ra ninyo tong statement na naka-assign ato na variable. So Q, which is the Q. So here's the Q. I will take a leave. So I will take a leave. Then the connective, di kalimtan ang connective. Or I will go for a shower. And the S. Uh, ano lang. Bantay lang dyan mo sa mga sa mga variables na gi-assign sa kada proposition or sa kada statement. So Importante lang jud na timan-an ninyo ning root inference. So, kung di nyo matiman-an, ang kung di nyo matiman-an, kung magbali-bali o ilis-ilisan na ako ang kuana na, ang mga variables na kung gigamit, ang imong inyong kuano lang, ang inyong importante lang na timanin, ang katong mga gipanggamit na connectives. Ito lang. So, that's the constructive dilemma. So, if P, then Q, and if R, then S, then the next premise is that P or R, then the conclusion, therefore, Q or panra ang iyahang conclusion. Take a leave or I will go for a shower. Another example, so important. So if the phone is damaged, which will have it repair, which is the Q. Still work, which I can still use it, which is so kung makamantay mo na pwede ra na siya walay then as long as naa ang if. Ha? So pwede ra wala ang then as long as nasa na ang if statement. So if the phone is damaged, then I will have it repair. Pwede nga na. If it still work, then I can still use it. Either, so dire, so for this koan, for either the phone is damaged, so the P, or the connective or, so work, R, it still work. So therefore, Q or S, so kwaon ra ninyo ang Q o ang S, have it repair, or I can still use it. Have it repair, Q, or the connective, can still use it. Kita ra ninyo? So, kita ra ninyo, muna ang importante dyan, bantay-bantay lang dyan mo sa mga variables na naka-assign, statement na naka-assign ana na variables. Destructive dilemma. So, ika-8. The destructive dilemma. So, that will be the last. The destructive dilemma. The destructive dilemma still has a two premises. So, this time, mabantayan ninyo sa constructive ug destructive, the same lang sila sa first premise. And if R can use destructive dilemma to derive the conclusion R. So, kung dire, if not, so, if, therefore, Q or S, dire, if not P, then R. If, therefore, not P or not R. So, another premise dire niya is not Q and or not S. So, kung makita ninyo, murag ibaliktad ra ni sila, kaning dua. So, then, ginigate lang, palhin sila, nagka-interchange, then gipang negate. So, here, so if P, if it rains, the position, if hot outside, R, shower, the S. Either, I will not take a leave, so I will not take a leave since negated siya, ang Q. And there is a Q, I will take a leave, so i-negate lang nimo siya, mag-add ra kag not. So I will either, I will not take a leave, so then not Q, or, so the connective or, I will not go for a shower. So, ginigate ra pud niyo siya. Oh, I will go for a shower. So, gidunga garagnat. So, nahimo na siya not go for a shower. Either. Therefore, the conclusion, either it does not rain or it is not hot outside. So, negated. Not P or not R. So, since negated siya, ginigate ra nato ning if it rains o kaning if it is hot outside. So, since it's negated, so either it does not rain, then the connective or is not hot out. Importante kayo na bantay-bantay yun mo. So, the destructive dilemma, negation ang ipanggamit niya. Unlike sa constructive, walay kuan. Didi siya. Not negated. Sa destructive dilemma, it is Oto, i-negate lang siya ang katong mga variables or sa mga statements. So, let's have another example. So, if the phone is damaged, so I will have it repaired. So, this is P. Diri pa na ha? Diri pa ni kanipan sa work, I can still use it. So, R then S will be R. Either I will not have it repair. So, since not have it repair, so ginigate lang na will have it repair. So, that will be or the connective I cannot use it. Can still use it. So, ginigate. Therefore, the conclusion, either phone is not damaged or it's not working. Like that. So, ato, balik-balik na lang ako ingon. So, yun look very well for the statements that bantay yun mo para di mo maglibog. Sana formula or unsa na rule. Most probably, sa next or I'm going to give you statements wherein ing ani ako ihatag sa inyo ha. Then you're going to determine what type of rules of inference ang gigamit ana. Ako na siya pang butangan-butangan og variables diri statements lang jud siya. So you're going to look carefully or read it very well ang statement na gipangga. Probably next meeting, next week or third week of May, balik ta